All right, so now we've got our initial refined sketch done, and I've got that scanned in, and let's bring it into Adobe Illustrator and draw out the paths with the pen tool. So it's already light enough to where it's not going to interfere with visually with us drawing the paths out. If your sketch is really dark, you might want to take the opacity down some so it doesn't just bug out your eyes. I'm gonna do a letter or two in regular speed and then we'll speed it up just so you don't have to watch the whole thing. And when you come to a point, you can just click, and then you come to a curve, you can just click drag and then release. Everybody has their own method of drawing paths, but I think the main key is do as few points as possible to get your letter shapes, because if you have to go in and move things around, if you move one point, it's going to get all weird if you have a point right next to it. Now I'm going to just go ahead and speed things up so you don't have to watch me draw all these paths out. Even though this is a script, we want the letters to be separate. And the reason is I might discover that I have some proportion issues where I have to move a letter over, or I find a way to kind of create a ligature or a connection between some letters that I didn't see before. And if we have the letters separate, then it's easy to move and just easier to change things. The other reason that I want my letters separate is I'm going to be doing some dimensional shading to this. So if you have one letter that overlaps another, it's really easy to put in shading if you have that. And doing this kind of lettering isn't nearly as precise as designing a typeface where you want it to be just super perfect. Like, you know, this is type for fun, so we don't want to stress about it too much, but we do want it to look good. And make sure you save your document just in case it crashes. So now that we've changed all those strokes to fills, you can start to see how the type is beginning to look. There's a few things I actually don't like about how it's coming out. I think some of the curves are a little off. I think that the T is a little bit weird. And some of the other lowercase letters are not quite perfect. So what I'm going to do now is shrink this down. And I will change it to just kind of a medium gray. And this is a 8.5 by 11 artboard. And what I'll do is I'll make a few copies of it. And I'll print that out. And I'm just going to sketch over it, kind of noodle away, and just figure out what I need to do to make it look good.